All right, you ready for something really hard? Because this is really hard. This is one of the toughest things I run across, removing the circles that come from lens flare. Because lens flare, it's not just the color and all, it washes out an area, it's just, ay, ay, ay. When I think of things that you're saying, what's really hard to retouch? Lens flare. Lens flare is just a massive pain. And I've tried to like select the circle and shade it and stuff like that, or remove the color. Your best bet is to just try to just replace it. So let's take a look at the image we have here. I'm going to show you a couple of things that'll help, some new things that'll help actually. This is the Trinity Church in Boston, just an amazing place. And look over here. Look at this big circle, little circle over here. It's kind of blowing out over here. Look at that. Over here in the corner, lots of problems. The first thing I can tell you that might help for the little fringe stuff, not the big circle, but the fringe stuff, is dehaze. So go to the filter menu, to camera raw filter, and then what you're going to do is go to the adjustment brush up here, and then go and hit on the plus sign to the right of dehaze. So go 1, 2, and maybe 3. So this will cut some of the haze. Look at that. It really does help some of the haziness. Okay, like right in there. Now, that doesn't fix our problem, but it gets us close. It really does help with the haze. Let's see, we need to go a little higher. All right, let's just hit the letter P so you can see. Look, it did help. It helped in there. It didn't fix our circle, but it took away some of that haziness, which is such a mess from lens flare. Okay, so that's step 1, little dehaze. Step 2 is now we've got to find a way to get rid of this circle. Now, the best way you can probably do this is literally go to the clone stamp tool. Let's duplicate the layer. I've talked about it. Let's do it. And I would just try to replace this. Let's go right down this wall with a straight line, and let's just replace it. Go back up here. It got a little off down here. Let's try it again. There we go. And just try to replace that. Same thing over here. Try to line up. And also try to line up with the pattern. And let's see how much we can replace. It's a little sketchy. Let's grab this pattern right here. And let's start it right here. I'm just looking at the pattern and trying to match it kinda. There's a little, you can see a little circle on the outside. So let's grab a little of this and see if we can bring it over, kind of cover. Wow, that's still not very good. Let's zoom in a little tighter. Yeah, there's actually just a couple of places that are kind of nasty. You can see it's a lot better than it was, but it's not really where we want to be. So, well, let's keep working on it little by little. First off, let's copy this circle here to right here and come down a little. That looks pretty good. Let's copy this circle. Oh, actually it would be this one, this little cross to right here and go up a little. So you can kind of see what I'm trying to do here is copy something that's not really too messed up, like that diamond, to right here, and then copy the area around it a little bit. Now over here, we can do the same thing. We can come down this wall pretty carefully, trying to get this as close as we can get it. It's not going to be 100% unless we really want to take some time. I got to imagine this is pretty boring to watch, right? You can see it's a little wavy in there too. That's not awesome. Let's see if I can get this straightened out more right here. I'm just trying again. There we go. That's a little better. See if I can get one click in there that's perfectly straight. That's better. So you can see what we're going to do. Click on a really straight piece, come down to where it's wavy, and try to straighten it out. Okay, that's getting a lot better. Get in here and straighten it out. And what I'm doing is using that preview and get in there and straighten it out. Wow, that straightened out quite a bit. And over here, we're going to have to take this part and copy it over as much as we can. Restart it so I can go a little further, up to that point and bring it down. Bring this piece down a little more. How far can I bring it down? Maybe to right there. Grab some of this. Try to bring it down some more. Boy, you can see why. This is why I hate lens flare. It's just nasty. Now we got to get a really small brush. Copy this down. I can't swear it would go all the way to the bottom, but I'm going to cheat and stick it there. And you can still see a little, but look from where we were. We're in a better spot, but it's not perfect. We're still going to have to work on that. Now, what we could do is this. That area where it's kind of, let's see if we can paint over it with the, let's go back to camera raw. See if painting over that with the adjustment brush set to dehaze might help. Adjustment brush, dehaze. It's helping a little, but that little circle there, you can almost still see it. And that's certainly not what we want. Better, but not where we want to be. Now, there's another thing that we could do, because I'm still not happy with this piece of wall right here. What we could do is this. Let's go up here. Let's get the polygonal lasso tool. This part is pretty good up here, and then it starts falling apart down there. What if we selected this part of the wall, and we feathered it, 10 pixels. Sound familiar? Pressed Command J on PC, or on Mac, or Control J on PC, and picked up this very straight piece of wall and just brought it down here to make sure it's perfectly straight. I think that will help. Yep, I think that helps actually quite a bit. Then we can duplicate that and bring it down again, down to here. Now, down here at the bottom, it's going to taper off a little bit too much. I'm bringing up free transform. I'm holding the Command key on Mac or the Control key in Windows to just squeeze it over a little bit because it was going too far to the left. Just bring it a little over to the right to make sure this thing stays straight. Hey, that looks a whole lot better. Let's merge those two together. That fixed that up nicely. We still have this area that's kind of like too light. So let's do this. I'm going to create a new layer on top. Technique I'm going to show you is called creating a merged layer. The keyboard shortcut is Shift Option Command E on Mac, Shift Alt Control E on Windows. It creates a new layer at the top that makes it look like you flatten. That way you can experiment, and if you make a big mistake, you can just throw it away. Shift Option Command E, merge layer on top. Because what I want to try is, I want to just select this area, see if we can just darken it. So I'm going to go right along the area where the circle problem is. Really, now that I fixed that wood, it's really right in there. Let's redraw that. That's pretty bad. That's where I see the problem area as. All right, now that that's done, let's put a big feather on it, maybe 20 pixels. Let's go to levels. So levels, the middle controls the midtones. All right, right here. And that might do it. Now, if you don't want to see the marching ants, if it's hard to see if it's blending, press Command H on Mac or Control H on Windows, and you can see that little darkening kind of helped us out a lot. There's a couple other controls. You can lighten over here, which we don't want to do. You can darken the shadows, which actually seems to be doing, oh, hold on. Not doing much that we like. Oh, actually, a little bit doesn't hurt. If I can actually hit it. Having a hard time hitting that little tiny. Come on. There we go. All right. And then this side over here, let me grab this little output control. Don't ask me why I'm having such a hard time hitting these little controls. That darkens it. That's not bad. I'm going to click OK. Look at that. Whew, took a little bit of doing, but I think we're pretty much there on that really bad spot right there. So there is no quick, easy, click a button, it's gone. Now we could have just tried, just put a big circle over it and click. Let's do that just for fun. Let's revert and let's try what the healing brush would have done. I don't think you're going to be happy with the results, but let's try it anyway. Go get the healing brush. And by the way, if this fixes it, I'm going to jump out the window. It's not going to, though. This is the, the option, the regular spot healing brush. Click. Yeah, that just destroys the bottom of the window. What if we did the regular healing brush and we said the place you need to sample from, let's see how big this is, a little bigger, is right up here. And then we move this down. That's going to put the top of the arch there right in the middle. That's it's not awesome. But what if we made the brush smaller? I know we're trying to come up with some easier way, right? I hear you. Oh, now it's going to be crooked and stuff. I think